Latifi.
Back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
A package that wasn't as competitive as we had all hoped. There was that big hope to be as quick as Max, a little bit better. Exposed a weakness of mine, a weak spot of mine. My driving style exposed a weakness of mine, a weak spot of mine to drive fast. COVID started to wear off. To be honest, I never wanted to be in Formula One.
Let's go, man! I got you!
It's backseat drivers time. Good evening and welcome to Backseat Drivers, number 36 of 2023. This week, everyone gets a point, except for Lewis, because he got disqualified. To talk about that and many other topics, we've got Fudd returning.
Hey, I'm back.
Unpopular demand.
Yes, unpopular demand.
Give the fans what they want.
I didn't have anyone reach out and go, when are you going to get back on here?
Yeah, we don't get a lot of fan mail on this.
No. I think I did have fan mail. I did have some videos sent to me.
Yeah, we do have some fans. Yeah. Oh, you get private messages, do you?
Oh, yeah.
my private messages are usually in relation to the other channel and abuse. Yeah. So sometimes it's nice stuff, sometimes it's abuse. But yeah,
show me your model cars, Dave.
All right, and we've also got Matt on tonight.
Hello.
I'm
teaching everyone Spanish, which is why not disqualify both?
Yes.
Do we get into that?
Well, Dave, just quickly, I know a lot of our fans are wondering where Boovie is. I'm going to let everyone know. So, as a lot of people don't realize, at the end of our show, we have a quick chat at the end of it. And Dave does random checks on us just to make sure we're all doing everything correct. Let's just say things weren't above board last week. And here it comes, Dave. So we did a check of the board, and he's come back and he's failed. So he's been disqualified for this week. Thank you and good night.
And on that high note, we should
go home.
I was just watching our intro video. Are we going to update that with the newest non-point scoring driver on the grid to get rid of Latifi? The Latifi of 2023, as we'll call him.
No, but Logan got points, so he's still Latifi, though.
Yeah,
he just happens to have points.
But there is a Latifi who got lapped last race.
I don't remember.
I know who he's aiming at, but also
Money Tifi. Money Badger.
He's very jealous that he gets paid $20 million to drive around in a car.
Yeah, well, I think there might have been a bit of strategy in how
lack thereof.
Well, I think maybe Toro Rosso wasn't calling Dan's strategy.
No.
Excuses. Maybe Lambassi was calling Dan's strategy.
So many excuses I've heard about last weekend. The car was broken, bad strategy, had the wrong.
No, that was Pastry's excuse.
Yeah,
the car was broken. Yeah.
Someone T-boned somebody.
Well, also remember, Rob, that Logan just happened to finish in 12th. So it's not like he finished 10th. He just got very lucky that a piece of wood got planed down a little bit.
In America, convenient.
He didn't cheat. He didn't cheat to get his point. He did well. He was what?
Here we go.
A second behind Albon.
Dave, do you remember a couple of years ago when there was this talk of a young British man who drove around in a Williams and basically could have won the world championship on a wing and a prayer in a cardboard box?
What happened to him?
Oh, he's still going to win it.
Unfortunately, at the moment, he's getting smashed by
everyone else.
Well, I think he's smashing himself. That's the problem.
Is that the one who's getting smashed by the driver that got disqualified?
No, I
Yeah.
think he's getting smashed by the wall. The last 2 laps, he's like, I've had enough of this. I'm just gonna make up a drive-through penalty for myself and order myself some Maccas.
Just on a side note, that was the most frustrating thing ever in like racing car games, where you like say you'd done a whole Grand Prix, and then on the second last lap you clip a wall or something, and you're like, well, that was a waste of 2 hours.
I did that with a 24-hour race. I think of Project Cars 2, and I've clipped a corner on the second last lap, or I think it was like the 5 minutes left I had, and it just said something like track limits, race over, and it just quit you back to the start.
Yeah.
I didn't play that game for about 4 months after that.
Yeah, that would definitely be a rage quit kind of.
And I was playing it at like 11 o'clock, so I finished at midnight, and I'm like, I'm never playing you again. In fact, good night, Xbox.
And he never did.
No.
So anyway, back to the topic at hand. I find it strange that within the rules, so they've tested 4 cars, 2 have come back negative. We don't go and test anymore.
No, it's
Like,
a sample
'cause-
set.
They do.
Yeah, that's
They do look at them,
But
and they only test them if they look like they've got excessive wear.
But Rob,
Yeah,
let's
but
be honest.
they only looked at the 4 though, didn't they? They don't.
Excessive wear is Lewis supposedly had a millimeter of wear on a 10 millimeter. What was it, like a sheet of MDF?
Yeah, so
In the naked eye, you couldn't look at a piece of MDF and go, "That's worn down a little bit."
Well, they can tell by because there's titanium sections embedded into it, and they can smell when the titanium's been worn down a lot as well, and they can just see it that it's slightly more because there is color differences in the material as well as it wears through that millimeter or 2. But yeah, they supposedly do check, and they can usually smell when one's been wearing a lot more.
I'm just imagining our sniffer dogs just walking up and down Hamilton's car and then just sitting in the front of it and saying, "This car's dodgy."
And they reckon different cars between the 2 drivers will be different because of how they've set it up as well, each car. Because they don't set both cars
but I would have thought on something like that. So say you tested the 4 cars and say it was only Lewis. So you go, well, chances are the others are all right. But you've tested 4 cars, 2 have been out. I would have thought then you'd maybe go, hey, this could be an issue. How about we go through and just check check the teammates' cars and then even go, right, all the Alphas, Williams or whatever, come on, we're just going to check your cars or whatever. And then even if you go, we're not going to disqualify you or whatever because we've done the disqualification part, but actually go through and go, hey, all you guys were outside or whatever as well. But you got away with it this time.
The problem with that is, and again, I can't believe I'm defending Lewis, but if you've finished your race and they've come up to you and go, sorry, Lewis, we're going to have to disqualify. You've got like a little millimeter marking. And then we go and check 8 other cars, right? And all 8 of them come back worn out. Yeah. And then it becomes news that Lewis got disqualified, but 8 other people are being let off scot-free because they've gone, well, it turns out it was a problem, but we're still going to, screw over Lewis.
What happens if 8 get disqualified, then Albon and Sargent are on the podium?
Then that's a sad.
Well, no, because you've already got Norris was tested and he was there. So
yeah, true.
Yeah.
You know what that also would mean, though, Rob? It would mean that your best mate would probably have got points. Can you accept that?
Well, we don't know the Alpha, whatever they are, Alpha Tauris.
Yeah,
they might have fallen foul.
Yeah.
Although they're not fast enough to fall foul of the rules, I don't think.
Well, that was the other thing they do. They actually check. They watch the in-camera cars to see how much their heads are bobbing and if there's excessive from the car hitting the ground as they drive. Plus,
what if Ricardo's just listening to some music and just bobbing along and just giving false positives?
How is he with his Beats by Dre sponsorship? How long has this been going for?
A couple of years.
Does anyone buy Beats headphones anymore? He's the only person I've ever seen wear them.
I would wear them if they paid me whatever they're paying Dan to wear them.
Yeah.
Even then, I'd probably just get like a pair of good headphones and paint some bees on them.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, he's had that for a while.
Yeah. He's
There's
had
a
it for a
couple of
long
weird
time.
Has
sponsorships.
Has he? He's not sponsored by him anymore. He's just trying to. Hopefully, they'll come back.
Yeah.
How long have they been sponsored? How long
where
has
is it?
Red Bull been sponsored by Yeti?
Are you listening, Sony?
A little while. I wish Sony would sponsor me. I've got multiple pairs of their headphones.
I see you trying to get some road money there too, Rob.
Yeah.
Matt's going for Coco Chanel.
I'm sophisticated.
Yeah.
I'm trying to bring some class to this podcast.
I want Techron.
Oh, Techron.
See, I can be bought. Give me a free hat and I'll put it on here.
No.
So apart from the disqualifications, good race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually after the sprint was a fair fizzer. Yeah, once again. What's the point? Like, I don't get it. And we're still going to do more of it next year.
Yeah.
Probably even more, Dave.
More.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, they're saying, because the ratings are up on a Saturday. Yeah, because retards like me will sit there and watch it regardless. Because, I want to know what happens. But are they, genuinely up?
Yeah, I thought the sprint was there to replace testing, but they use the sprint as a test as well. But they can't because...
Yeah. You can't change the setup. Yeah. But I think,
other drivers for the sprint, like if you're Max right now, and and he's not going to, but if you're already, established your position, and number one, he's won, can you put your third driver in and go nuts, have a race?
Part of the problem, because they have to use the car, so it's not like that would be good in theory, but then no one's going to say risk the car for the actual Grand Prix by putting in, say, a third driver or a rookie or something like that. So then maybe do you go, well, if you put in another driver, you could have like an extra chassis there or something. But then they're going to say, oh, well, we need an extra $10 million in the budget cap to be able to do that. Yeah. And you go in that circle, but I just think maybe the sprint should maybe be on a Friday as a separate thing, but have it we have two qualifying sessions that are the same.
Yeah.
We have the sprint is essentially the first 30% or whatever of the Grand Prix. It's not there's no difference in it.
No.
Have a one lap shootout as the qualifying for the sprint or something. So it's different to the actual Grand Prix qualifying.
Yeah.
And then someone suggested maybe every 2 laps or something, the slowest car gets eliminated from the
like in video games. I've always said
that.
And put up barriers and shells.
Yeah, but so that would possibly make it a bit more interesting if you have say a 1 lap qualifying, and then someone buggers up that lap. Say Max buggers up that lap, and he ends up starting last. And then if every say it's a 20 lap race, one driver drops out at the end of every lap, then there's motivation for him, to make sure he's overtaking, because will he, get through or whatever, which in general, you're going to be fine. But at least it just mixes it up a little bit.
Also, reverse grid means Logan gets to go start at pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Danny.
So that's nice.
They could do only one qualifying for the 2 races, but the sprint whoever gets fastest gets a huge weight penalty, and that goes all the way down to last place. So the higher up you qualify, the more weight you have in the car to slow you down for the sprint.
Yeah, or you invert the qualifying for the normal qualifying or whatever.
Yeah.
So, although you would have issues with, say, even potentially say, an Aston Martin or whatever going, oh, bugger it, we'll throw qualifying this weekend so we start in first for the sprint because, it doesn't matter. We'll start from pit lane and Alonso will still end up in the points in the old car. But the other about that, Lance was actually very close to Fernando in the race.
Yeah.
So obviously the new car is better because normally it's a big gap between them, but it was a lot closer.
And I'm assuming Junior Stroll gets the newer car because obviously he asked for it louder.
I'm not sure why they went that way with the...
Didn't they go back?
Yeah, so they reverted Alonso's car to the old specification and Lance's stayed the new specification, but I think they changed the setups on the cars because they knew they went in the wrong setup direction with the new car as well. So that was why Lance started from pit lane.
Yeah.
Oh, because they did too many changes.
Yeah, so they changed the setup on the car to learn more on it because they obviously after the sprint they went, we're in a bit of trouble here. So they reverted Alonso back to the old specification and then changed Lance's setup so that then they could back-to-back the cars essentially, which I'm not sure then how you back-to-back them when you've got one driver so much further ahead of the other one. But
if the other driver has lots of money, maybe he gets the better car.
Well, yeah, that could have been a way to, try and make Lance look better in comparison.
Yeah.
Okay, he finished 8 seconds behind this week instead of 3 days.
Also, Dave, do you think? Let's imagine Lewis didn't get disqualified, and he finished first because he did a better pit stop strategy. Would he have finished first with a better pit stop strategy that everyone? Because I went on Twitter and I read the very level-headed, like-minded people on Twitter who told me very calmly, Dave, and not saying anything racist, anything about Max. They basically laid out their points, Dave, in dot form. It was clear. It was concise. It changed my mind completely. You know what?
They use proper punctuation.
Proper punctuations, full stops. You know what? I'm thinking now, Lewis is a 9-time world champion. I mean, that's that good. Did you know that Lewis Hamilton won back in 2001? But the FIA is racist and it stole it off him. So, and the FIA definitely hates Lewis. Like they listed out all the exact points of
what I found. Like I don't go on Twitters, but I do see some comments sections and Instabook and things like that. What I found interesting with the little bit I looked at it, because you're like, there's no good can come from reading this, you idiot. Don't go down that. And then, it's like kind of like a car crash. You have to have a look. But the people complaining, and you're like, Lewis wasn't the only one who got disqualified.
No, but he was the only one that matters.
Yeah, you do realise Leclerc also got, and Max and Lando were tested. Their cars were tested as well.
But they didn't. We don't know.
They didn't single out. It wasn't like Lewis's was the only car that got tested, and he was the only one who was disqualified. Like in general, all of your arguments, the main competition was tested and passed that test, and another competitor got disqualified as well. So how was he singled out?
Well, Dave, let me explain, right? So the great minds of Twitter, these are F1 experts.
Aficionados.
Yeah, they're all engineers, scientists, FIA rulebooks. Basically, when they test Max, they're very lenient. They basically look at the car and go, nah, she's all right, and then they move on. When they get to Lewis, though, they have an army of 6 people, and they're all ex-Red Bull engineers and stuff, so they've got like a bit of bias towards it, and they're always doing this to screw over Lewis because they don't want him to finish second. Why don't they want him to finish second? I didn't have enough time to follow down that thread. I had my life to live. And I got hungry and needed breakfast.
It's got to be some conspiracy. The Mexicans have decided that,
Like I said, if people had spent just half the time they do not on Twitter and just doing something educational, they could probably be working for Mercedes. If you'd spent 2 hours a day just learning aerodynamics, you could have been an Adrian Newey in that time. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, well, the experts that are on some of these forums.
They're the greatest. Some of their quotes and stuff, Dave, the best. The best one though I saw was Mercedes left up the Lewis Hamilton finishing second, and the top comment I think was, "This is aged like milk," and they've kept it up there. I failed to look at I think it was the Ferrari one to see what they've written, but it looks
it's a difficult one, especially for like if Red Bull gets disqualified, they're like, we make a fizzy drink.
People still buy our fizzy drink.
Yeah, Mercedes and Ferrari getting disqualified, not so good for the reputation. The Ferrari probably not as bad, but Mercedes board will not be happy.
No,
with that. Yeah. So anyway, it happened.
Do you think Christian Horner is now like being interviewed and going, "Oh no, it's such a disappointment"? But in his mind, he's just being Oscar, just laughing and just doing a little dance.
Could you imagine like the reaction on that one after all the jibes and whatever from basically? Yeah,
no one likes your car. I spoke to Checo; he doesn't like the car. I've got to say, this season's Drive to Survive will probably be the greatest season ever.
Oh, this is just going to take it to the next level.
You thought Dan coming back was a ratings winner. Netflix probably sitting there going, "Can you just disqualify like one or two cars?"
Netflix is there with sandpaper.
Netflix has got a little planer out there and just gone to the apprentice, "Quick, just run out to any car. I don't care."
What's that over there? Did you get a mill off?
Yeah. You know what's funny, actually? I think it was McLaren that had the parts engineer doing a video on that piece not more than a week before the race.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, there was a video on Instagram where they basically show the board, and like Rob was saying, there's like 3 titanium like screw points, and they put that in there, put the wood, and then they take it out and measure it. But the level of tolerance is not big.
No, but that's always been like that with the plank. There's always been very low tolerance on it.
No.
But because you look at the back and you see sparks and stuff.
Yeah.
That means you're getting dangerously close to that piece of wood.
Yeah, but they do have inserted like titanium blocks into so that they make the sparks when it drags on the ground.
Like how big is the titanium block to the wood?
I'm not sure, but yeah. Yeah. That's a exact measurement of a hand and a face.
Yep.
Here's my face.
Yeah.
We'll come up with some things next week to demonstrate the size of it.
Yeah.
We can't, in honor of your mate, we can't use the metric system.
No, it must be in inches.
I don't think he's still figured out what a kilometre is, even though most people have decided he now knows.
Well, considering he did spend his whole racing career in Europe, I think. Yeah.
Rob, don't ruin the joke.
Yeah.
Next, you'll be telling me the people on Twitter are not really nice, and they're all just a bunch of,
Well, I was going to say, just go on Twitter. They'd know exactly how big the skid blocks are and the titanium bits.
And Lewis's were being worn down beforehand because there's a video of a man in a trench coat walking before their car before. And if you look carefully, it was Vettel the whole time.
I also like the excuse, like, oh, it's because it's the sprint weekend. And like,
what?
Yep, that's cool. The other teams had the same. Yeah, that's not like, yes, okay, that could be why you got the setup wrong, and that's why you've worn out the skid block more than what you should have. But that's not something to get you out of it.
Hey, does this mean that there are 2 races in a row now that Hamilton hasn't finished? I mean, hasn't got points? Technically he's finished.
Yeah.
I mean, he might have finished at the end of the year, depending on...
Well, I was actually getting excited because I was kind of cheering him on to get second.
I think everyone wants him to get second because if he gets second...
Yeah, well, that makes it more fun with the shuffling of someone else.
If he gets second, an Australian will probably thank him and buy him like a tub of Vegemite.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he needs to get second, but yeah.
It would look good.
It would have made the conversation a lot easier. Like, you know how we said that you had to get second and you didn't? Whereas now it's like, you know how we said you had to get second in the championship? Well, we've changed our minds and it doesn't really matter. Yeah. You didn't exactly know what the rules were and it's a moving goalpost.
Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but all of our videos recently have been starring Max and Dan and not you. There's a hint there. We've, for some reason, we wanted to use our second Red Bull driver, but we decided to use the other AlphaTauri driver because,
Is this why Dan's going with the twos in his positioning in the standings at the moment? The 22.
Yeah. He played the team game very well on the weekend.
Yeah.
Being lapped.
He's definitely a team player.
Definitely.
Yeah.
The way he's going, I'll be surprised if he makes it to the end of the season too.
He'll be fine.
He'll be more than fine.
Yeah.
Maybe Logan gets to stick around now because he's basically infinitely doubled his points.
Yeah. Well,
do you think they made him a little trophy that just says you're number one?
He is the number one driver in that team.
Well, in his own team.
Yes. Team America.
Yeah.
Team America.
I like how they're comparing it to Andretti scoring points.
I know, right?
And it's like, it's the first time anyone from America has scored points, and they're trying to compare it. And you're like, a podium versus 2 guys getting disqualified and finishing 10th.
Yeah, but Michael wasn't really that great there either.
No, it's funny. I've looked at a lot of stuff from that season, and there's a bit of arguments from both sides of the equation as to what went wrong, and I don't think it was the best situation for Michael.
No.
And I think he was a bit set up to fail.
Yeah,
but he didn't cover himself in glory either.
No.
So,
well, there's been no word with the team getting on the grid. There seems to be that everyone wants Andretti on the grid apart from 10 people.
Yeah, which is
all the mass and
the team principals.
Yeah. I don't know, like, if I was Horner or someone, I'd just, for shits and giggles, be like, let Andretti in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do it. Whatever Tony says, you'd say the opposite.
Yeah.
You'd even say just to stir the pot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Because it's not going to affect them budget-wise. Like when you run through the numbers, it doesn't affect it that much, really. Maybe if you were letting in 2 teams, it would have a bigger impact. But when you're dividing it between 10 or 11, it's not a massive kind of difference, especially, like Williams, who are supposedly the poorest team or whatever, they want to go and spend more money building new wind tunnels and stuff. They're like, the budget cap's not enough for, like, we want to spend more. And then you're whinging like, we're going to be like $2 million down if Andretti comes in. Like, well, where's the fucking money coming from to build your wind tunnel, dickhead?
Logan hats. Lots of Logan hats that have one. Never forget. 1 point 2023. Yeah. Where were you when Logan got that call that 2 people got disqualified?
Yeah.
Moving up the ranks and he'd get 1 point.
Oh, I was eating lunch at work. And one of my co-workers jaw dropped and went, it's saying here Lewis has been disqualified.
Yeah, Rob,
and Leclerc has too.
When Rob sent the photo of Logan that said points, I genuinely thought he was just being smart and he just quickly got in pain.
I had to hold on to that news for so long, waiting for you guys to actually watch the race. It's like, I have something exciting I want to talk
because
about.
Normally I would have written and then Logan got points and Rob's like, oh no, and that's ruined it for everybody. And then followed it up with, and then Latifi showed up and got a podium. Like, there we go. It's back to me. So, are we also enjoying Max is just a whinging sore loser, a bad winner by just yelling at that poor race engineer every week?
No talking.
No
talking. Corners.
This car's shit. I hate this car. It's so shit. I win by 4 days, but this car's shit. I don't want it.
My brakes are bad.
Do you think, though, he's like started to go like, okay, he's nearly in the corner. Okay, talk now. Right. This will wind him up.
Hey, Max, what do you want for dinner tonight?
Says that to give people like hope, and like they'll hear it. Like Lewis will hear it, or Toto will hear it and go, the car's playing up. We've got a chance next week. And then next week he wins by a week.
That's the other thing, though, which supposedly when he came into the pits, he came in quite slowly compared to normal. Like he didn't come in full tilt, rah. So there was some braking issue with the car. But then, like your Hamilton fans who were saying, if we'd had the better strategy or, if we'd gone on Max's strategy kind of thing, you would have still been behind. And then you don't know how much he was nursing that car. And if there was a genuine fight, like how much he would have pushed it and the potential whether that, like, the car would have still made it.
Yeah.
So he was obviously nursing the car and he wasn't being threatened by Hamilton. So you don't know whether he could have just turned it, gone, say, 2 seconds lap quicker and driven back away from him if he'd actually caught up. And that's the big thing when they whinge about all that. Like, Mercedes stuffed the strategy again because...
Do you reckon next race that his engineer every time Max is coming up to the corner, he'll be like, Max, what do you want for dinner tonight? You want some chicken? You want some chicken tonight? You want some chicken tonight?
Shut up. I'm not hungry. Shut up. Leave me alone. I'm driving.
Well, the funny thing as well will be that they don't have to worry about raising the ride height on the Red Bull at the next race.
No.
Because it's a lot, like isn't the bumps in the track. So they can put the car back down on its guts and go fast.
Have you heard what Max is getting at the next race in terms of upgrades? Security guards.
I'm surprised he doesn't.
Supposedly he's getting security guards at the next race because they are concerned for his safety. How much of a toxic environment do you have to be in? When he finishes a race in America, they boo him and yell at Checo. And then when you go to Mexico, your teammates... I mean, in that being said, Max did not play it very well last year by his famous, I'm not letting him pass. You know why I'm not going to do it? Because I'm a 12-year-old boy and I take all my toys home and no one else can play with them. Shut up, engineer man, and shut up, Chris. Christian, I'm busy right now. I'm driving. Don't talk to me right now. Let me just win. I mean, also, I don't think Checo's going to be in the chance for a podium this week anyway. So it's not like Max can let him, pass through.
Yeah, well, yes, that's probably the big thing there.
So what I did put in the notes. Where do we think Checo will finish in the race next week? Do you reckon he'll finish up higher if Max goes missing before the race starts?
No, I still reckon he'll be in the points, not the Logan points, but like slightly higher.
Yeah,
Actual points. Yeah,
actual points. He won't be on the podium though.
Do you reckon after they do the grid walk and they all go down and the cars start up and all the people move to the sides, Max will go to take off and all his tires will be slashed, or he'll be sitting on bricks?
He'll be sitting on bricks.
yeah.
Cinder blocks.
Yeah, a little Mexican flag stuck on his halo.
I can't see him finishing very high, and I can see Max winning again, and him just at the end of it, just before his podcast, going, "I don't even care. I won. Let's go home."
Well, we got to do our tips this week, don't we?
Oh yeah.
And Bobby's not here to pick anything, so we
no. Bobby sent them to me again, so I've got them.
He's right on the Logan.
Yeah, so Bobby is all aboard the Logan Sargent train. He's definitely got him for second. Don't listen to any Bobby comments. He said to me, Matt, bet the house, Logan, second place. He's got a taste for points now. He's like, I need more points.
Who does he want for third then?
He wants the Forgotten Chinaman in third. Yep.
Joe?
Yep.
Joe. I even spelt it right. And fourth?
Danny Rick. Don't listen to Bobby. He hasn't put his tips in. That's an imposter.
No, there's nothing in there, Bobby. So who does...
I think he wants Max for 10th.
I was going to say Checo in 10th.
No, because that could actually happen.
I just need to revoke his access to the sheet. I'm just going to keep them there. Maybe just move these over here for later. No, there's some anonymous wombat is attacking my sheet.
What?
Someone's attacking my Google sheet.
I think you're gonna have to kick everyone out, Rob. It's been hacked.
Yeah, I've put these tips in. We actually there is an actual thing so you can see any changes that are made. So I'll be able to actually see that he's changed it since I put them in.
That's how Bobby gets his secret points.
Yeah.
Because you know what? I had a look at the sheet, and then for some reason, Bobby even wrote in his tips, I was going to pick Lewis, but he'll get disqualified for board violation. How did he even know this? How did he even know that was going to happen?
All right. Dave, who would you like for second place?
Norris.
Norris?
Ooh.
Third?
Hamilton.
Yeah. I'm probably going to doing the opposite of that. He can't get disqualified twice, can he?
Bobby's undone his changes. Maybe he doesn't want Logan for second.
Bobby told me he's all aboard the Logan life.
It's confirmed. Fourth place, Dave?
Checo.
Checo.
Whoa.
And
So
10th place.
Yuki.
Alonso.
Ooh.
Oh.
Matthew.
All right, so second, who did you pick for second? You picked Lando. I'll take hashtag blessed then. He'll finish second. And then he'll get disqualified again.
Yep. Hashtag blessed.
Yep.
Third.
And third place, who's your favorite Ferrari driver?
Sainz.
Then I'll pick the other one. and
he'll get disqualified as well.
Leclerc?
Nah. Let's go back to the other guy. Sainsbury.
Sainz only gets podiums after people have been disqualified.
Fourth place?
Oh, who we got? Should we take a? You know what? We'll take Oscar. We'll
the Grouch.
Yep.
And 10th place?
Oh, here we go. Do I play it safe and just pick Yuki?
Maybe.
No. You know what? We're going to go Ocon.
Oh, God.
We're mixing it up.
The forgotten team.
Yeah. We've got
about 84 owners.
Yeah. Everyone owns them now.
There's a podcast that I listen to, and they call them everyone's 10th favourite team.
I think Bobby's done some sort of pivot table here.
What? Sounds like Booby's just trying to cheat.
I don't know. Someone mentioned to me yesterday. I'm gonna go Oscar second.
Ooh.
Russell. Hey, Russell third.
You don't have to pick him.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to pick with my head, not
your heart.
Not your heart, yep.
Well, if I was picking with my heart,
Oscar, Dan, Oscar.
Dan first.
And then Lawson somehow would get a seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's 2024, Matt.
Dave, we live in hope.
I'm gonna go.
I'm just waiting for that press release.
I'm waiting for Dan to Rob to do a press release and go, due to Checo no longer racing, my services as a backseat drivers are no longer required. I'm starting my own podcast called Tequila for Two. Where Rob gets a special guest each week and they just drink tequila and talk about the good old days.
All right, I've got Oscar, Russell, Norris, and Albon for 10th.
Oh.
Oh.
So Albon will be higher up.
Have we all picked where Checo's going to finish for Rob's new Mexican Fiesta bonus game for the Mexican?
Dave's picked 4th.
Okay,
Yeah.
What do you want, Rob?
I'm going to go 6th.
Oh, I was going to go 6th. I'll go 5 then. Let's mix it up.
4th.
I think Boovy said he wouldn't finish. He would crash in front of the Grand Prix.
He's got him in for first.
Matt, what did you say?
In between you and Dave, so 5th?
5th.
Yeah.
I got 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th for Booby.
No one thinks he's finishing on the podium.
There's a reason for that.
Nobody likes Checo.
Well, it's not that we don't like him. It's just you've got to be realistic about these things.
Well, at least it's kind of we'll have a good little race to the end to see who actually gets second. Like at least there's something.
Do we? Also, let's call it now because there's 3 races left.
Yeah. 3.
Mexico,
7.
Vegas, and Brazil
Brazil.
and Abu Dhabi 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I like Brazil.
Do we think? Hashtag Blessed is catching up to the Minister of Defence?
It made it a lot harder after being disqualified.
It did.
I think he. Yeah. What's the actual points now?
It's now about 35, I think.
Yeah, because that gave Checo a big helping hand as well because he. So it's 39 points now.
Oh, okay. That's 10 points a race.
Yeah, so that's a big ask. But then you say that, but if Hamilton ends up being second or third, and Checo's, fifth, sixth this weekend. All of a sudden, there's your 10 points.
Yeah.
Difference this weekend. So, it's still got a good chance that it could turn around. But, it made it a lot harder.
Yeah.
Because that would have been, where was Checo was sixth and Lewis was second in the race?
Yeah, the gap was down to 18 points. Oh, no, even less.
Yeah.
It was,
I guess.
because like I said, the more that if Lewis does come second, there will be a new second driver at Red Bull, even easier. Just because, like you said, Red Bull says one thing, but at the end of the season, when they have that fancy 2 bulls and it says press release to be announced after Abu Dhabi, after we don't get the 1-2 finish constructors, and then Dan gets to put out an Australian tweet saying, in my contract it says that I'll be racing for AlphaTauri. This I know not to be true, as I will be the Red Bull Minister of Entertainment.
Surprise, I've actually had a Red Bull contract the whole time.
You know what would be cool if he was wearing his AlphaTauri racing overalls and he pulls it off and it's just his Red Bull underneath. It was me the whole time.
He comes out with a Checo mask on.
One of those Mission Impossible masks so they look realistic.
This is someone's career we're making fun of.
Yeah, but at the very end, Dave, Checo rips off his mask and goes, "Who was this masked man for the last 4 races?" It was Nicholas Latifi the whole time.
Are we allowed to talk about IndyCar?
Yeah, there's actually been a bit of IndyCar news this week.
Yeah, no. Pietro Fittipaldi. I confuse which Fittipaldi's who these days because there's about 17 of them that race, I think. Yeah,
this is the one that raced for Haas when Grosjean got burnt.
Ah, okay.
And he'd already done a few starts in IndyCar as well.
Which one's doing F2 or F3?
I'm not sure. That's a younger one.
Okay.
But Pietro, so he was at Dale Coynes a few years ago. And he was I think he was in that big accident at Spa in the LMP2 car as well. Okay. So couldn't finish off what he was doing at Dale Coyne. And then he was the reserve driver for Haas when Grosjean had his fireball. So filled in for those couple of Okay.
And Christian Rasmussen, the NXT champion or Indy Next champion.
Yeah, which that's interesting that Ed's going back to that part half schedule with the second car.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think at least the champion's actually getting a ride this year. Yeah, even if it is that ride. Yeah. Better than nothing.
Yeah, true. At least it does give him a springboard, and you can judge how he stacks up against Renus as well.
True.
If you just get smashed out of the park by Renus,
Renus just sounds like he's lost the ability to hold his poos in. It just sounds like some weird issue. I had a Renus failure.
I think Renus has had a Renus failure this year.
True.
That whole... But at least you've got a fair idea of where he sits, how he compares up to Renus.
Graham hasn't re-signed officially yet either.
It's funny as well on that because I'd heard he was shopping himself around to a few other teams earlier on in the year. Yeah. And then all that went quiet that he was staying at Rahals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think that was as the other seats because, I think he was shopping hard at Ganassi and Andretti.
Yeah.
Until,
I don't think what's his name? The English guy who races for Junkos has been.
Ilott. He
Yeah,
hasn't been confirmed yet either.
No, they had a.
Which is strange.
Yeah, they had like a big thing the other day, telling everyone that the other guys back in.
Yeah.
Callum's just
Canapino.
Canapino. Yeah. I like Calipino. I don't like his fans. So,
Yeah, that's a hard thing with him. Yeah, that's very yes. Let's not get into that.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine if he became a Max in IndyCar? It'd be horrible.
Yeah, I mean, he's fucking. What he's done is amazing.
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah, comes with some serious baggage.
Yeah, there's like, worse than Yuri's baggage. Yeah.
It's like meeting a girl who's still best friends with the last 12 boyfriends that hang around every weekend.
Have you been in that situation before?
Yeah, well, this sounds like a after hours Rob story time.
It's something from experience. What I find, but I'm trying to keep it back on track there. But what I find strange with the Ilott thing, though, because they've essentially that second car or the first car at Junkos is going to be funded by McLaren.
Yeah.
So that's why Ilott would be
perfect for that.
If you're providing funding, I want Ilott in the car because unless there's some kind of thing where Junkos is a bit pissed off with this, that essentially they're going to steal Ilott as soon as they've got room to run 4 cars.
Yeah.
Which you'd have to know that Ilott was going anyway. Because you've probably got Ganassi, Andretti, Penske all talking to him regardless.
Yeah.
So
I'd really want to see him in a decent car. I reckon he's got a good future there.
Yeah. He could be in there for a very long time.
Yeah. But IndyCar really need to do something for the off season because there's a lot of off season.
It's a big gap. I do like how they say, like when I compare it to supercars with, we've had a big gap from Bathurst now to Gold Coast, and then it's even worse going to Adelaide. Whereas at least IndyCar, you do get that momentum when you're watching it because it is kind of bang, bang, bang when it's going. But it is a big off-season where not much is happening.
I think they should get some old Honda Jazzers and Chevy Sparks. Since it's Honda Chevy, prep them up so they're on par with each other and they have races in those. Yeah. Well,
just something to keep them a little bit more relevant.
Yeah.
Or even add, 2 more races to the championship to stretch it another month.
Yeah.
So, just to give them a bit more presence.
Even like the thing they're doing at Thermal, have another couple of them, just a couple of weird tracks around the place. Yeah,
have your race down in Argentina or something.
Yeah, race in Argentina, one in Brazil.
Yeah. They don't have the same Brazilian presence, though, that they.
Maybe Mexico.
Well, they don't have the same because there's no Mexican drivers anymore. I'm trying to think.
Pato, there could be soon, Dave.
Oh yeah, Pato. I forgot about
Pato, who has a huge following in Mexico.
Yeah, true. I may have forgotten about Pato.
Well, if Checo left F1 and went to IndyCar, between him and Pato, it would be worth having a race in Mexico.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, essentially, they nearly used to go there for Fernandez.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, like mid-90s, they had massive amount of fans, and I think it was only really Fernandez. I think there was another guy from Mexico, but I think he was. I'm trying to think. He was with one of the pretty ordinary teams back then.
Yeah.
Down the back.
Yeah.
But it's not like they had Brazil had about 15 of them in there at one point.
There was a lot of Brazilians in there.
Yeah. But now with Helio, that's it for Brazil, isn't it?
It's just Kiwis now.
Yeah. Fucking, which I don't mind. Like some of them, will claim Scott McLaughlin.
Yeah. No, which I tried. You saw the tweet.
I wouldn't mind taking Armstrong either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Armstrong. I don't know. He's a.
Really,
I don't know.
I don't think he's going to be champion or anything, but
No,
I don't mind his. I don't mind his personality.
Yeah. He's not. He has his moments.
I think he'll be a bit like a Hinchcliffe in the long run, where like really good personality might end up on TV and stuff like that.
Yeah. Do you reckon Malukas will be a champion?
No.
Do you reckon he'll be on TV?
I really like Dave Malukas.
Yeah.
He's
hard not to like.
But when there's some guys like say Scott McLaughlin has a lot of personality in that.
Yeah.
But he's a killer when he's in the car.
Yeah.
Malukas is very good, but he's not that.
Yeah.
Like he's not that top tier level. I haven't seen that from him yet. It might be different when he gets in McLaren, but
yeah, true.
Yeah, it is hard at Dale Coyne at times, especially when you've got I've got Blake, who was his teammate this year, that was useless.
Stingray.
Stingray
Rob.
Yeah, Stingray Rob. Yeah. So
what's wrong with Stingray? Everyone's favourite.
Stingray. I gave someone a plant recently as a present, and she likes naming her plants.
How old are you?
Mid-40s.
No, I didn't know that you knew people in nursing homes.
Yeah. Well, this person likes to name their plants, so I told them this plant had its own name already, and it was Stingray Rob.
Did they get the joke?
No, they have no idea who Stingray Rob is. I did show them a photo. They're like, it sounds like real Southern American. I'm like, have a look at him.
And he has things about Jesus on his car.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have put a fish sticker on it on the pot. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I've got.
Yeah, I think we've covered off everything, haven't we? Unless Matt's got
one more question.
Okay.
We haven't done this for a while. The winners and losers of The winners and losers of last week's race. Now we all obviously know Lewis was the biggest loser of the week.
Yeah.
I would like to put it towards you that the biggest winner of that weekend was Yuki for stealing the fastest lap because he had more time than everyone else to do it. I've waited for someone to do that dick move because he would have finished. Max would be like, done, and then Yuki's just like, nope.
See you later.
Max didn't have it though.
And I'm trying to
because Dan actually had it before Yuki got it, but I'm trying to think because I'm pretty sure it was someone like Norris that had it beforehand. I don't think
Norris.
Norris, and Max wasn't looking. Yeah, and I think, and that was part of with the strategy that they put Dan on, was that we get the fastest lap.
Yeah.
Like Dan takes that away from competition.
Yeah.
And then they've obviously, Dan wasn't in the points and they had the opportunity for Yuki to take it.
Yeah.
So, whereas you couldn't, you would have ended up losing more points if Checo had hit it or, and Max obviously wasn't in the position to go for it.
Yeah.
So
go Yuki.
Cool. Yeah.
Team Yuki.
Like that.
Yeah.
I don't know when my Yuki had his. Oh, my dog walker decided to borrow it when I was away.
That's a fireable offence.
Yeah.
I was watching the cameras and I saw him come in with no hat on. Then I see him leave wearing my Yuki hat.
Wow.
That sounds like theft.
Yeah.
He left it here.
Rob, that's called burglary or a robbery. Someone has stolen
a robbery.
He had a key to my house
Not even breaking and entering. You've let this person take your hat.
And he did leave the hat here. Like, he didn't keep the hat. It was like a illegal renting of my hat.
They sort of Airbnb'd your hat.
Yeah.
I haven't actually checked if he left like a $20 note in the lip. The next day when he came back, he had his own hat. So he was being sun
smart.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, I can't be too mad at him for, you know, needing to wear a hat. I would have liked to just like a text message or something going, "Hey, can I borrow a hat?" I would have gone, "Yeah."
Like, not the Yuki one.
Yes. Not the Yuki one. Take the Signs one or the fucking Hamilton one. Take one of the shit ones. Don't touch the Latifi one.
That's my favorite.
I'm keeping the hat.
My baseball hat. It says Latifi.
I'm keeping the hat for when I'm in my 50s. Keeping the hat for when I get in my 50s and I buy my MX-5 and I can wear it driving around.
Guys, have I told you the story about Latifi? He was Canadian's greatest driver.
He's the best driver ever.
Number one Canadian driver.
Look at me, my MX-5. I go as fast as Latifi.
He's going to go to Harvard and run an F1 team. It's going to be the best team ever.
And on that note,
we are done.
Yeah.
Yep, good. I'm going to bed.
Rob and I are just going to yell at each other through the microphones up close.
That's anything.
I'd like to say good night to everyone before this goes totally off the rails. We'll see you next week for a recap on how well
are we having a
Mexican
surprise live viewing of the Mexico race at Rob's house? Didn't we all invite ourselves over?
Yeah, Tequila Monday.
at 4 a.m.
7 a.m.
7 a.m. Breakfast tequila. Espresso martini breakfast.
When we're doing that for... Okay.
We're doing it for both.
Oh, yeah.
Monday morning. I'll be here.
Yeah. I'll send out the address to the mailing list.
I may even have pants on.
Oh, does that mean I have to wear pants too?
No.
Sweet. Pants optional.
We'll see you next week, everyone.
See you all.
Everyone. See you.